Hey everybody, welcome to Weight Loss for Women Over 40. I am your host, Nikki T, and today we're talking about when the cold creeps in, staying warm without shutting down. So if you are privileged enough, and actually I'm jealous when I say this, if you live in Florida, California, somewhere where it's pretty much warm all year round, again, I'm a little jealous, but you're not like you don't have the seasons like we do up on the East Coast and in other parts of the world. So when it turns cold, and I know there's a lot of snowbirds from up the East Coast that do go to Florida. So I know you know what I'm going to talk about. But when it starts getting cold, we tend to shut down. We tend to want to hibernate. We tend to want to just kind of hunker down and not do anything and really just bundle up in a blanket, maybe sip some hot coffee and or chocolate and sit by the fire. So we're going to dive into how to keep this going, keep the momentum going throughout the winter, throughout the fall, throughout those moments where you want to just kind of shut down. All right. So if you're new here, welcome to the podcast. I have been doing this since right before COVID. Launched this podcast. So I've been, what has that been, 5 years? And I have to say, I am just honored that I get to come on and speak on this podcast and that it reaches so many people worldwide. It still kind of boggles my mind at the capacity that this little podcast has. So I am so glad you're here. I'm so glad you're listening. I would love if you would head over to Instagram at Weight Loss for Women Over 40 and follow my page and then DM me and let me know where you are listening to this podcast, whether it's in the US, whether it's in Australia, Canada, England, Europe, wherever you're at. I want to know. So again, head over to Instagram at Weight Loss for Women Over 40, 40 at the end, and DM me and let me know where you're listening to this. All right, let's dive into the topic today. So, you know that moment where that first chill in the air suddenly hits and everything in you just wants to slow down. I know for me, the last couple days, it's been like that over here on the East Coast. And yeah, I have wanted to hunker. I actually worked quite a bit sitting on the couch in a blanket. That's the beauty of my business of working at home, But a lot of times we tend to want soups, we want soft blankets. Oh my gosh, I bought this. I've had this duvet cover for 2 years now, and I got an insert for the duvet. And this is so silly that I'm sharing this, but anyway, I got this insert for the duvet and I put it in the duvet. And oh my gosh, I have never been more excited to snuggle up in my bed. It's like laying on clouds. It's so comfy and cozy. I cannot explain it to you. But that's what happens when the weather starts getting cold. But I'm so glad I got this duvet and just am hunkering down. So there's a fun fact that you probably don't care to know about me, and there it is. But we tend to kind of hunker down. We want to watch TV, we want to watch Netflix, marathons, and we want clothes that stretch instead of zip. And it's like your body saying, come on, let's hibernate. Let's just hunker down. But here's the thing. Your body might crave comfort, but your mind gets to decide whether comfort becomes care or complacency. And again, today we're going to talk about how to stay connected, stay energized, and motivated when the weather starts turning cold and gets colder. And when your brain starts to whisper, let's just wait until spring. Let's just wait till it's warm. Again, totally, this podcast is probably written more for me than anybody else. When it starts getting cold, like I love going out in the parks and walking, but as soon as it starts getting cold, I don't want to go. I really don't want to go. So this is going to be a journey of my own. I'll have to maybe update you on my walking. Actually, if you follow me on Instagram, you will know if I'm walking outside in the cold. So head over there. Um, so again, when the season shifts, especially from warm to cold, your brain actually interprets it as a cue to conserve energy. Again, think primitive brain. Think back in the day when we had to hunker down and get through these winter months, right? You may notice that you have more cravings, more fatigue, more resistance to moving your body. But that doesn't mean you're lazy. It just means you're human with a primitive brain. The part of your brain that is wired for survival, right? Your primitive brain equates warmth with safety and cold with a threat. So it tries to protect you by telling you to eat cozy foods, move less, and stay under the blankets, right? It's trying to conserve energy to keep you warm. It is trying to keep you alive, essentially, right? So here's the mindset shift. Comfort is not the enemy. Autopilot comfort is. So meaning autopilot comfort is when you turn to soothing behaviors like overeating, TV scrolling, scrolling on your phone, or staying under a blanket without awareness or intention. It's comfort on default, a reflex rather than an actual choice, a decision, right? It's very different when you intentionally decide to go sit on the couch with a warm blanket. Like, perfect example, like I just said a second ago, is I was cold. So I went and sat on the couch with a blanket, but I kept working. I kept doing the things that I needed to get done, right? So you can enjoy the cozy feelings intentionally without losing your energy, your momentum, or your connection to your goals. So let's talk about comfort food for a second. There is nothing wrong with craving warm soup, stews, or even mashed potatoes. It's your body's natural response to colder weather, right? It's trying to warm you up. But here's the mindset reframe. When you reach for comfort food, I want you to ask yourself, is this caring for myself or am I escaping something? Because comfort can be nourishment, right? When you're hungry, it could be a big bowl of Panera Bread's autumn squash soup. Yes, that has been on my mind lately after a walk in the cold, or it can be a numbing mechanism that keeps you stuck, right? The difference is awareness and being able to distinguish between the two. Am I physically hungry or am I emotionally hungry? So instead of judging yourself for craving cozy foods, um, comfort it with, not comfort with, get into where you are making your meals feel nurturing, right? Sit down, savor them, add spices, make you taste the food. That is self-care. That is not self-sabotage, okay? So let's be honest, when it gets cold, we have this little voice that says, and this is so me, do I really need to go outside? Maybe I'll start again when it's warmer. Maybe I'll wait till the spring. Again, for those of you who do leave to go to an office, I know that's a different mentality, like you are leaving, but if you're like me and don't enjoy the cold so much, that little voice is pretty strong. That blanket mindset can be sneaky. It wraps you up, but it dulls your spark, right? So here's the truth. You don't need to fight it. You just gonna need to kind of redirect it, right? So what if instead of thinking, I don't want to move, your thought is, I'm going to move in a way that makes me feel warm. So for me, and again, this is a goal for me to go to the park more in the winter because I know I want to get more vitamin D as it's whatever is available during the colder months. But for me, it's going, okay, so I'm going to bundle up. I'm going to make sure I'm warm because that's my problem. If I'm fine outside in the cold, but I have to be warm. I can't be sweaty, but I have to be able to be warm. So I will bundle up. I will dress in layers. I will peel off what I need to peel off as I go. Hat is definitely important, keeps that heat going on. But you can go for a short, brisk walk. That's another thing. I like to go out in my neighborhood and take my dog for a quick walk, even though she doesn't like to go for walks. But feeling the crisp air on your face is definitely something that helps your body, your system, right? Movement in the cold can actually wake up your body's energy. And the best part, and my favorite part too, is that cozy feeling that you get when you come back inside and it feels 10 times better, right? Because you've been exposed to the cold air and now it feels warmer inside your house. So let's start shifting from physical warmth to inner warmth. You can reignite your spark with small intentional actions, okay? So you can create winter activities that support your energy, right? So like lighting a candle when you're journaling or having your morning coffee when you're doing meditation or things like that. You can schedule in cozy movement, right? If you are scheduling on your calendar, there should be a lot of white space in there for fun things for you to do because if not, what is the point of being on this planet if you can't have fun, right? So cozy moments may be yoga in front of the fireplace, stretching in fuzzy socks and sweatpants, dancing in your kitchen while you cook your dinner. Keep visual reminders of your goals around. So whether that's photos or inspirational things, quotes, whatever, you know how I feel about like memes and affirmations. Like they really have to have meaning to them. Don't just splat things all over your house because if they don't have meaning to you, then they're not going to work. So I did do a podcast on that. Um, I can't remember what it's called. I'm pretty sure it's called Daily Affirmations or something along that line. So if you want to go check it out, if you're listening to this episode on Spotify, you got to go to somewhere besides Spotify to find that episode. Um, for those of you longtime listeners, you know I've had a podcast for years, and I just recently got on Spotify. So if you're not on Spotify, you want to go check it out too, because I have some exclusive podcast episodes on there that cannot be found anywhere else. So you can absolutely go over to Spotify and check them out too. But so if you want to do that daily affirmations podcast, if you want to listen to it, you can go to my website and search through my blogs. Just put the search word in for that and you can find it or scroll through the podcast. I'm sorry, I don't remember when it was, but it's a popular one. But you can check that out. All right. So mindset really isn't about forcing motivation, right? It's creating warmth from the inside. So when your body is warm, you're going to feel better, right? So do the things like the other day I was cold and I refused to turn my heat on yet. I was doing jumping jacks when I got really cold and then I felt great. I was like, oh, okay. So there are little things that you can do, you know, to get the heat going. If you're in menopause and you're having hot flashes, enjoy those hot flashes as they keep you warm. Um, I don't know about you, but I know I am getting in menopause, so I have had hot flashes, and I always joke beforehand saying, I can't wait for menopause and hot flashes because then I might actually be warm because I'm always cold. So, again, there's another little fun fact that you probably don't care to know about me. Here we go. All right. Um, so when you choose to nurture your mind instead of numbing it, winter becomes a time of reflection and growth, not regression, right? So here's your challenge for this week. When you notice yourself reaching for comfort, just pause and ask yourself, am I caring for myself or am I avoiding myself? Am I caring for my body or am I in an emotional state where I don't want to feel what I'm feeling? If it's care, lean in. If it's avoidance, shift your energy gently. Go outside, move your body, take a breath. If you want some actual real techniques that I use, get in one of my programs and you can find how to shift your energy out of avoidance, out of that emotional state. You don't need to fight the season. You just need to kind of meet it differently from and a different approach. If you've done this year and year and year over and over and over again, you just need a different approach, right? But again, everything starts in your mindset. So winter is not here to slow you down, right? It is here to allow you to experience this new season in a different way. And if you've been doing it the same way over and over again and you're ready for a change, come on into my world, right? So if this episode hit home, please share it with a friend who's already saying, I'll start in the spring and they're ready to hibernate. Remember, comfort doesn't have to mean quitting. You can be cozy and you can be consistent at the same time. And again, I want to invite you to come on over to Instagram at Weight Loss for Women Over 40 for more mindset for your weight loss journey. I hope you have a beautiful day, and wherever you are, I hope the sun is shining. And even if it's not, that's okay. It's all a mind shift. I know someone who absolutely loves when it's rainy and cloudy and gloomy, and I think it's awesome. So have a beautiful week, and I'll see you in the next episode. Actually, I'll see you over on Instagram, right? Weight loss for women over 40, 40 at the end. All right, take care.